Hi guys, so we'll be solving an O-level past paper question from the year 2017. The session is October-November. This is question number 11, the last question of the paper. We'll use trigonometry to find different lengths and the angle of elevation. So let's start. The question reads, a vertical mast XY is positioned on horizontal ground. The mast is supported by 4 cables attached to the mast at P and to the ground at points A, B, C and D. Y is the center of the square ABCD. PY is 7.5 meters. Part A says, given that AB is 3.65 meters, show that AY is 2.58 meters, correct to 3 significant figures. They've told us that this length over here is 3.65 and they've asked us to find this length right here. If we say that this is the midpoint of AB called Z, and if we find the length of ZY and AZ, we can use the Pythagoras Theorem to find the length of AY. So let's do that. First, let's find the length of AZ. AZ is half of AB. So that means you multiply half by 3.65 to find the length of AZ. So AZ comes out to be, let's do that, 3.65 times 0.5 gives us 1.825. Since we have the length of AZ and since AZ is equal to ZY, that means we use the Pythagoras theorem to find the length of AY. So AY squared is equal to AZ squared plus ZY squared. So AY squared should be equal to 1.825 whole squared plus 1.825 whole squared. AY squared comes out to be, let's use the calculator to find this, 1.825 whole squared plus 1.825 whole squared. AY squared comes out to be 6.66. So if we find the square root on both sides, AY would come out to be, let's see, 2.58. So 2.58 meters is the length of AY as mentioned in the question. The next part says, calculate the length of one of the cables used to support the mast. So let's say that we're trying to find the value of AP. First, let's remove all the other scribblings. 1 second. But we do not remove Z over here because that may be used later in the question. So we do know the length of AY, which is 2.58, and we also know the length of PY, which is 7.5. And we need to find the length of AP. So again, we use the Pythagoras theorem. So that means AP squared is equal to AY squared plus PY squared. So AP squared is equal to 2.58 whole squared plus 7.5 whole squared is equal to what? So AP squared, 1 second. Okay. So 2.58 squared plus 7.5 squared gives us 62.9. Okay. So the length of AP can be found by finding the square root on both sides. So if you find the square root on both sides, we get 7.93, 7.93 meters is the length of AP. That is the length of one of the cables. So you write it over here, 7.93. Okay, let's move on. The next part says, calculate angle APB. They've asked us to find this angle right here. So since this is 7.93 and since this PB is also 7.93 and AB is 3.65, and if you remove all the other stuff, 1 second, if you remove all of this, we can use the cosine rule to find the angle APB. So how do we use that? First we say that AB squared is equal to AP squared plus BP squared minus 2AP times BP cos APB. Okay, so AB as mentioned in the question is 3.65, so you square this, is equal to 7.93 squared plus 7.93 squared, because BP and AP are both the extensions of the, what do we say, the cables. Okay, So you multiply negative 2 by 7.93 as well as 7.93, and you're trying to find cos APB. Okay, so let's write cos APB on one side and bring everything to the other side. So you do 3.65 whole squared minus 7.93 whole squared minus 7.93 whole squared divided by negative 2 times 7.93 times 7.93. Okay, so let's see what cos APB comes out to be. So you do 3.65 squared minus 7.93 squared minus 7.93 squared. Divide this by negative 2 times 7.93 times 7.93. And eventually you get 0.8941. 0.8941. Then you do cos inverse and you find the angle of APB. Let's see what cos inverse of this value is. Cos inverse of this value gives you 26.6 degrees. 26.6 degrees. So the answer in this question is 26.6 degrees. Okay, let's move on. The angle of elevation of x from A is 77 degrees. Part 1 says calculate the height xy of the mast. So what they mean by this part is, let's remove all of this first. They're saying that if you draw a straight line from A all the way to X, then this angle right here is 77 degrees. And they've asked us to find the length of A, this one, XY. But what do we have? We do have AY. So we use tan. So we say that tan 77 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is XY, divided by the adjacent, which is AY. We do know the length of AY, so we do tan 77 degrees is equal to XY divided by AY, which was, what was the length of AY? I am not able to figure that out. Yeah, 2.58. 2.58. Okay, if you further solve this, then XY would be equal to the product of tan 77 and 2.58. So XY comes out to be, let's see what we get, tan 77 times 2.58. This gives us 11.2 meters. So the length of the entire pole is 11.2, so you write it over here. Okay, the next part says calculate the angle of elevation of x from the midpoint of AB. Remember when I said that this point might be used in the question once again. So what do we have to find? If we remove everything else, this time they've asked us to find the angle of elevation from this midpoint all the way till x. That means they've asked us to find this angle. What do we have? We have zy, don't we? And what was the length of zy? It was 1.825. Again we use tan because we do have the length of xy as well, and we need to find the angle. So tan, let's say tan theta is equal to the opposite, which is xy, divided by the adjacent, which is zy. So tan theta is equal to xy was 11.2 and zy was 1.825. Let's plug this into the calculator and find what tan inverse is. Tan inverse of 11.2 divided by 1.825 just should give us the angle, which is 11.2 divided by 1.825, and shift tan inverse. This gives us 80.7. So the angle of elevation of x from the midpoint of AB is 80.7 degrees. I hope the question made sense. The complete working of the entire question is present in the description below for you to download. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching.